Alright, let's dive into this because the Chargers just dropped their first unofficial depth chart for the 2026 season, and there's a lot to unpack here. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me just say this. Depth charts this early in the preseason are like a snapshot of a moving target. They're interesting, sure, but they're not set in stone. Players rise, players fall, and injuries happen. So, take this with a grain of salt, but let's break it down anyway because it's fascinating to see where things stand right now. First off, the offense. Justin Herbert is still the undisputed starter at quarterback, which, honestly, is no surprise. The guy's a franchise QB, and the Chargers' success hinges on him staying healthy and dominant. But what's really interesting is the backup situation. Trey Lance and DJ Uiagalelei. That's a pair of former first-round picks with something to prove. Personally, I think this is a smart move by the Chargers. If Herbert goes down, they've got two guys with starting potential who could step in. It's not ideal, but it's better than most teams' backup situations. Now let's talk running backs. Amari Hampton is listed as the starter, but the backup situation is a bit of a logjam. Keaton Mitchell, Kamani Vidal, Jarrett Patterson, these guys are all competing for snaps, and it's anyone's game. What many people don't realize is that running back depth is crucial in today's NFL. With the way defenses are hitting, having multiple guys who can step up is a must. I'm curious to see how this shakes out during the preseason. The wide receiver room is stacked, but Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnston are the starters. McConkey's speed and route running are a perfect complement to Johnston's size and physicality. But here's the thing, the backups are no slouches. Trey Harris, Brennan Thompson, Darius Davis, these guys could start on other teams. What this really suggests is that the Chargers are building a deep, versatile receiving core. If you take a step back and think about it, this could be one of the most underrated position groups in the league. On defense, the 3-4 setup is interesting. Khalil Mack and Tuli Tuipulotu as the edge rushers? That's a terrifying duo. Mack's experience paired with Tuipulotu's raw talent could be a game changer. But what makes this really interesting is the depth behind them. Akeem Masitter and Bud Dupree? That's a solid rotation. In my opinion, the Chargers' pass rush could be a strength this season, especially if they can stay healthy. The secondary is where things get a bit more uncertain. Derwin James is a stud at safety, no question. But the cornerback situation with Tarheeb Still and Dante Jackson, or Cam Hart, is less clear. Jackson's experience is valuable, but Still is still proving himself. One thing that immediately stands out is the lack of a true shutdown corner. If the Chargers can't generate consistent pressure, this could be a weak spot. From my perspective, this is the area to watch during the preseason. Special teams? Cameron Dicker at kicker, J.K. Scott at punter, solid, but not headline-grabbing. Darius Davis as the returner is intriguing, though. His speed could be a game-changer in the return game. What many people don't realize is that special teams can swing games, and having a dynamic returner like Davis could be a huge advantage. So, what's the bigger picture here? The Chargers are a team with a lot of potential, but they're also a team with questions. The offense looks loaded, but can they stay healthy? The defense has playmakers, but can they be consistent? Personally, I think this depth chart shows a team that's still figuring things out, but they've got the talent to compete. If you take a step back and think about it, this could be a make-or-break season for the Chargers. They've got the pieces, but can they put it all together? This raises a deeper question. Are the Chargers a playoff team in 2026? I don't know yet, but this depth chart gives me hope. It's not perfect, but it's a starting point. And in the NFL, that's all you can ask for. So what do you think? Are the Chargers set up for success, or are there too many question marks? Let me know in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going.